Hey Patriots fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved New England Patriots. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. This way you'll stay updated and never miss any breaking news or exclusive content. The Patriots drafted 11 players this year and shortly after signed 19 undrafted free agents. That means it's time to begin trimming the roster, and it's already started. 6 players have been released as the team reduced its group to the 90-man off-season limit. Let's take a look at those recent cuts, and then we'll dive into 3. Potential candidates who could be released between now and the end of training camp. This is a pivotal time for the franchise. Now that the draft is over, I'm already craving football. I'm not really into off-season workouts or practice sessions. I just want September to get here. Among the players cut were some who had been gaining attention. I had already mentioned the crowded wide receiver room, and right after that, a few releases followed. Many of these players have been bouncing between the active roster and the practice squad. Still, one move in particular was surprising. The team released a center who played a significant role last year due to an injury to the starter. There was also movement at the quarterback position, but the center's release stood out. However, the biggest surprise was the release of the veteran long snapper who served as a captain last season. Believe it or not, he was the last remaining member of the Super Bowl core after other key players left in free agency. The Patriots recently released their long snapper and captain heading into next season. Interestingly, he was the last player on the roster from the Super Bowl winning squad. Another player was also released. He was the final one to have played alongside a legendary quarterback who brought multiple championships to New England. With his departure, the Super Bowl era has officially ended. He spent over a decade with the team, and along with the long snapper, was one of the longest tenured players on the roster. It's worth noting that last year was his first as a captain. These moves signal a clear trend toward youth, or possibly even a full rebuild. It's unfortunate that he won't be part of the team this season, but the decision was foreseeable, especially after the team selected a long snapper in the final round of the draft. Long snappers usually face little competition, as there's typically only one on the roster and injuries are rare. When the Patriots drafted a long snapper, it became clear the veterans' days were numbered. They were the only team in the league to select a long snapper, while most teams prefer to sign them as undrafted free agents and stash them on the practice squad. It was a strategic move, but it doesn't make his absence any easier. His name is familiar to every fan, proof of his impact. For Patriots fans who will miss Joe Cardona, don't hesitate to show your appreciation in the comments. While there's little competition at long snapper, several other positions are shaping up to be very exciting as training camp approaches. One of them is center, especially after the departure of Jake Andrews. Now 4 players are competing for the spot. Garrett Bradbury, a recent signing, is one, along with Jared Wilson, who was picked in the 3rd round of the draft. Wilson seems like a necessary addition. There's also Ben Brown, who came over after time on another team's practice squad and brings solid experience working with quarterbacks. Cole Strange is also in the mix, playing both left guard and center. The battle between Bradbury and Wilson is particularly compelling, an intriguing matchup between veteran and rookie. Wilson might even outperform Bradbury. Another hotly contested position is wide receiver. The team currently has 9 receivers on the 90-man roster, and not all will make the final cut. That means some players will be cut between now and the end of training camp as the team looks to make final adjustments. They've invested in younger talent, so it's likely some veterans will be left out. And here comes the surprise. One of the newly signed players could be cut. That's not something you see every day, but it all depends on his training camp performance. Although the team signed him in free agency, that move happened before other key additions were made. I believe this new player fits the profile the coaching staff values, someone clearly committed to the game. He has a distinctive style and seems willing to do whatever it takes on the field. That's why I believe the coaching staff appreciated him early on. Still, with the receiver room now crowded, competition will be fierce. The top 3 spots will likely go to one name, another, and a 3rd receiver working in the slot. But Kendrick Bourne and others will still need to prove their worth to secure roles. In the end, it all comes down to training camp performance. Even though he was signed recently, that doesn't guarantee his spot by September. If a younger player shines, the veteran could lose his place. Signing someone doesn't guarantee job security. So I ask you, who do you think is a potential cut candidate? Let me know your thoughts. I believe this player might be on the chopping block if his performance doesn't impress. Another surprising potential cut could come at the safety position. This player has multiple years left on his contract and was a defensive leader last season until he lost that role due to off-field issues. Though those legal matters have been resolved, his age and past events could influence the team's decision-making. He served as a defensive captain last season, but lost that title after legal troubles off the field. The league has since closed. The case and the player, now in his 30s, faces new competition from younger talents. Kyle Duggar, who had off-season ankle surgery, and the previously mentioned player remain key defensive figures. Others have also been stepping up, including a standout special teams contributor. A new safety was drafted in the 4th round, and another stepped in admirably last season when the veteran missed time. There's also a safety who showed good chemistry with teammates in the secondary, so I don't think now is the right time to release this veteran. Let's wait to see how the younger players integrate into the defense. However, if the new draftee truly stands out in the offseason, that could change the equation, especially given the veteran's age and last year's off-field concerns. Still, I believe we have time, and I hope he's still wearing the uniform this year. He's not guaranteed a roster spot, but he could stay, at least for now. Before discussing that possibility further, you should know that the team's top draft pick is now officially available, and you can buy his jersey online. He won't wear number 1 though, that's just a placeholder for rookies. When he gets his official number, you'll be notified. Don't worry, you won't get stuck with a jersey showing the wrong number. Just follow the link to get your rookie jersey. This isn't exactly breaking news. We expected this for a while. One player is now the 2nd oldest on the roster, just behind another familiar name. While not officially confirmed, it's clear he's now in his 30s. His contract runs through 2026, and he recently returned from an injury that sidelined him last season. His production didn't meet expectations though, to be fair. None of the receivers stood out last year due to the poor offensive coordination. A player like this is certainly a risk, especially with younger receivers who haven't fully showcased their potential. Analysts mentioned he could be a cut candidate, especially with intense competition expected during training camp. Most teams carry 5 to 6 receivers, so tough decisions lie ahead. Some players are expected to lock down roster spots, while others remain uncertain. The battle right now appears to be between 2 players, with one slightly favored due to his versatility. Now, this brings us back to the age factor. The veteran is nearing 30 as camp approaches. I understand if you're skeptical about whether one of the younger guys can reliably catch the ball. That's fair, but we must acknowledge that last season was highly unusual. The offense struggled to find any rhythm. I don't think we've truly seen what this younger player can do. Aside from a few missteps, maybe he's improved. Maybe. He's developed. So it's worth emphasizing that last season was an outlier. The team lacked clarity in its offensive identity. There's been little information about Polk, aside from some struggles with catching passes, though he may have made strides in that area. There's no indication that Bourne will be cut, but if Polk really steps up and proves he's got it, there's a chance Bourne could be the odd man out. Until then, this will be one of the most interesting position battles. That leads me to the final question. Who do you want to see make the roster? If you're rooting for Jalen Polk. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a shocking turn of events, Tyreek Hill, the dynamic wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, has signed with their AFC East rivals, the New England Patriots. Hill, who has been one of the NFL's most explosive and consistent playmakers, will be leaving behind a Dolphins offense that revolved around his speed and playmaking ability, heading into a new chapter with Bill Belichick's Patriots. The move is bound to send shockwaves through the NFL, especially considering Hill's pivotal role in Miami's offensive success over the past few seasons. His connection with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa helped elevate the Dolphins to new heights, with Hill consistently ranking among the league's top receivers in yards, touchdowns, and receptions. His ability to stretch the field and make big plays from anywhere on the field made him a nightmare for opposing defenses. Hill's decision to join the Patriots, however, raises more questions than answers. The Patriots have been in a transition phase over the past few seasons, with the departure of Tom Brady and a change in offensive philosophy under head coach Bill Belichick. While the team's defense has remained strong, the offense has struggled to find its identity. The addition of Hill provides a potential game changer for New England, someone who can take the pressure off quarterback Mac Jones and help reignite a passing attack that has been underwhelming in recent years. Belichick is known for his ability to adapt and find value in players who can make an immediate impact. Hill's elite speed and ability to create separation on every route could be the key to unlocking the Patriots' offense, and the team may now have a legitimate deep threat to complement their balanced attack. With Hill now in the fold, the AEO Patriots are expected to be much more dynamic on the offensive side of the ball. The move also has significant implications within the AFC East. Miami, who has been a rising contender in the division, will now face the daunting challenge of replacing one of the league's best wideouts. The Dolphins will have to adjust their offensive game plan accordingly and may look to bolster their receiving core in the upcoming draft or through free agency. Meanwhile, the Patriots' signing of Hill could shift the balance of power in the AFC East, putting more pressure on the Buffalo Bills and the rest of the division's contenders to step up their game. Tyreek Hill's departure from Miami marks the end of an era for the Dolphins. His tenure in Miami was filled with highlights and electrifying plays, but his move to New England represents a significant shift in the balance of power in the division. As Hill prepares to face his former team twice a year, the stakes couldn't be higher, and all eyes will be on this latest chapter in his career. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.